Hey guys, I just finished a coaching session with a student of mine and we were focusing on box fighting because he really wanted to get better in that area. And this is what we learned. We talked about a bunch of advanced topics, a bunch of nuance. We went in depth, right? Like we care about that stuff because he's at the intermediate level and he could absolutely get better at fighting. So, you know, if all the other videos on YouTube that are a little bit too basic, they kind of show the obvious side of things, and you care about the literal details, the small details that the pros use to get better at box fighting, then this video is absolutely for you. You know, if you have questions, guys, about box fighting, leave it in the comments below. I will absolutely try to help you. But other than that, onto the video. Guys, before today's video starts, if you want to support the creator on your screen right now so I can continue to post free valuable content on YouTube, then check out the first links in the description. The first one offers one-on-one private coaching with myself, where you can get better at Fortnite at a rapid rate and learn what your mistakes are from a professional. And the second link offers a esports grade mouse from oneclickmouse.com. This is my very own gaming brand that I've actually created myself. And if you want a high quality mouse but at an affordable price, you could buy the Aspire Pro to use to compete, to practice, to play tournaments. And I really think that this is something that you guys will like, so check out oneclickmouse.com. And now back to the video. Yeah, okay, so we're just gonna go through every single fight and we're gonna go through my mistakes too, because I'm not mechanically the best, but I think you can learn from my perspective as well. So let's just go through.
Yeah.
So I remember this fight. Yeah, this was one of the first fights. I'm like down on HP, so my HP is not the greatest. And of course, these are like super enclosed box fights. When you get to like the top layer on this map, like it becomes really box fighty for sure. Which is fine. But yeah, I'm really low. Like I remember this fight as the feeling that I had was you're just out trading me, meaning like on every peak or challenge that we had, or every sort of opportunity to do an engagement, you were doing really good. So you had the advantage in terms of the peaks. The ending, which is very important, obviously it's the most important part of the fight, because the ending, whoever wins the ending wins the fight. Obviously, because we had bad trades on my end, because you were winning the trades, I had a harder job with the ending, obviously, but it's very important to close out really good. At the very like first 80% of this fight, look, I'm taking like dumb peeks like that, trying to do some nice pre-fires, because you did the window peek perfectly. I'm never gonna hit you. It's really good. And like a lot of the trades you're doing really good. That was a good idea, and the reason why I do appreciate you doing that is simply because, and I don't think, if you have ammo, by the way, in this case you should not switch. You should actually not switch here. Okay, if you still have ammo, keep shooting me, because look at my HP. My HP is really low. It's 4 HP, and that's why I like the idea. Like, it's okay to take a pre-fire if you're gonna spray at me if I'm 1 HP. You know what I mean? Like if a single bullet hits, you're good to go. So it was really close there. Could have ended the fight. I hit you for 40, sure. Here you should hold wall after this pump, because then you would have it, and then you edit immediately and switch to SMG. Do you know why you switched to SMG?
Bullets. So one shot's gonna end it, really.
Yeah, I mean, let's say your shotgun's fully reloaded, you still switch to your SMG because shotgun cooldown, right? Even though shotgun this season has pretty fast fire rate compared to the pumps of old, it's really important to still be really quickly. Like, that's why I think if you claim this wall and immediately edit and spray with the SMG, I'm just dead. There's many opportunities here for you to do this, right? So recognize that this wall is low. It's one of the things that I mentioned in my fundamentals video, is understand what the build HP, that's what I called it, right? The term that I use is understand build HP, recognize that the wall is low, and if you do, you know, part of your pump hits this wall, it's gonna break. And so be ready to hold that wall, because if you recognize, like, no one's holding this for that split second, and if you react faster than me, almost like shoot your pump and then hold right away, you're gonna get the wall. It's not even a ping issue, because I didn't hold it right away. And so then you're gonna claim the wall, you're gonna edit, you're gonna just kill me right here. Now I have full advantage. Here you should leave, as you do. You double edit down, which is the only solution you have. Maybe you could go here, but then this is my wall. So going down is really good. That's like your best play.
Yeah,
because like I have all of it, so that was good. Here you should recognize that the top is not yours. You're hiding in a cone. Maybe you have no mats. I have no idea.
I think I fucked up, like, actually.
Yeah, and so this is where I get most of my damage. And so remember when I talked about, like, if I own the wall, remember we talked about it just yesterday, right? If you have your box, like, let's assume this box right here, right? This box right here is yours. Like, that's the box you're playing in, right? If I own some section of it, like a wall here or the top, like now I have both the top, like both tops piece controlled, or like the wall. In this case, it's the top. I can do a lot of damage. What should I do in this situation? What do you think?
Really?
Literally just like hold a tight angle so that only like a third of my body is showing, and just spray SMG, because I'm just gonna do a lot of damage, because it's impossible to hold a cone. It's really awkward. Same with the stair. If you have a stair, it's really awkward to hold a stair. So that's the idea. So like here I have a huge advantage. I have right hand peek, but also the fact that I own a piece of your box, and that creates a situation where if I just spray, I'm just gonna do a lot of damage. And this is where it's difficult, right? In this case, you should have just edited down right away. And if you don't own the floor, spray it, right? So use your SMG, spray down, and you're fine. Here, you need to make a move. You need to get up. It needs to be quick. Because if I'm faster there, I could, you know, now I'm chasing. Now, notice something. Should I heal?
No.
Yeah, I agree. Exactly. Because you're on the ropes. If I remember correctly, you didn't use any of your heals. So if I choose to heal here and I use my one mini, which by the way, genuinely makes no difference. I'm one shot either way. 38, 34 or whatever, you know, 29 HP or 4 HP, same thing. Doesn't really matter, right? So that's the idea. It's like, I don't care about this mini. What I need to do is make sure I push my advantage. It's like one of those things where it's like, even though you're probably higher HP than me, like you're probably 70 HP, since we're both one shot, this is the best chance I'm going to get. So I should take it. And if this was a real game, my mats are running out. So I need to just take this advantage. So that I hope you get that part. That's really, really important. So like understanding when you should push, even if you're low, is important. So, yeah, we were both one shot. And it's only going to get worse if I stall. Because I know you have heals and I don't. But you've basically out-traded me the whole fight. So it genuinely just came down to the most turning point of this fight where I started to win is right here. It's so split-second decisions to realize that this is a really bad situation. You need to go down. And again, like I said, if this is not your floor on the bottom, just spray, okay? Next fight. So this is the very beginning of the fight. You get some spray damage on me. So I'm making some mistakes there in terms of getting sprayed a little bit. And my mechanics are really, really not warm. So I'm just like missing some edits, but that's okay. It's all about the ideas at the end of the day. Here, so it's a mistake for me to go for this. Why is it a mistake for me to go for this jump peak? I don't talk about this often, so I don't expect you to know. But this is a more advanced topic. Like, if we're gonna go into more advanced topic, this is the time to talk about it.
Yeah.
Right? So, in this case, this is what's known as a stalemate. Okay? People know this in box fights. This very much exists in box fights, right? Where I have a peanut butter, there's a box of like neutral space in between, and then you have a peanut butter. Whoever jumps first loses. And the reason is, if I jump first, just like I do, let's skip forward just a little bit and pause right here. For a split second, I'm exposing myself. And then if what should happen from you in this case, is instant. Like, think about it this way. When I jump, I'm stuck midair. Agreed? Like, I can't like instantly fall. I'm at the mercy of gravity. And in this case, what you should do is immediately react and jump peek me. What you're gonna notice, not in this fight, but maybe in like 6 or 7 clips later, you're gonna notice where I do this exact concept. Where I notice we're in a stalemate. And it was a very similar situation. I think your peanut butter was on the right, actually. And mine was here. And I jump immediately, like almost like a millisecond after you. And what that causes, like what that does is I have the peak. I have the jump shot, right? So it's really, really important that you try to take advantage of this. Like literally react to this and try to jump. Because notice, if you shoot too late, nothing happens to you. I'm already behind. I've fallen. I'm behind it. So I can't hit you. You know what I mean? So like go for the punish here. And you can even spray here. Another thing to recognize, build HP plus the guy standing close to the wall is a really punishable scenario, right? Meaning, you probably know this about Fortnite, if you stand really, really close to a wall, it's really hard to hold, right? We talked about this as well. In this case, if you just move slightly to the left, especially because I just went for a shot, right? I have a cooldown. If you move to the left right now and just go for a spray, I'm probably going to take damage. And there's no pre-fire coming because, again, I just went for a shot. So here, there's several options. You can do the peek opportunity, so peek right after me and hit me with your peek. Or understand that I have shotgun cooldown and immediately take the opportunity to move to your right. Don't, like, forget peeks for a second. Literally just stand right here and spray at me because I'm hugging the wall. All right, so there's several opportunities you have here to do some damage. You do it, but it's too late. Right? And honestly, you see how late I placed the wall? Like, it takes a while. I have to flick, and it's because I'm how close I am. But if you react quicker, if you recognize these situations quicker and react like half a second after, you're gonna find a lot of success in terms of doing damage. Build HP is very vulnerable here. I'm aware of this, and what I'm gonna try to do is, like, as you spray, I'm gonna look straight at you. Like, if your head's right here, I'm gonna try to pre-fire because my wall's weak. So just watch out for that. No, every time you're trying to go for a spray on a wall, really pay attention to the build HP and what I'm holding. Because if I'm holding a shotgun and I'm just chilling, then I'm probably just going for pre-fire, okay? So far, so good. This is good. I like that you don't peek this because actually, again, stalemate. Whoever peeks first loses. This is a stalemate. Same idea. Although this time you have a window, but it is a stalemate. Because, like, if neither of us are peeking and you peek first, suddenly you're peeking and now I have the peek on you. So that's why it's important to recognize. Just don't peek whenever it's like try to find a different angle. Change position. If you want to continue, change position. Here, you should recognize that your top needs to be closed. This is very, very important, okay? When you go and play in box fights, forget third parties for a second. Let's say you know there's no third parties, okay? Even if they're like no third parties in this situation, this is very vulnerable because you're trying to aggress on a wall underneath me, right? Your focus is on this wall down here, but you've left something open that you currently can't focus on. You're not defending this at all. You're not crossharing here. You're focusing on the wall underneath. What this allows me to do is exactly this, right? So this is what's important. So like close this, put a cone on top. Then if you want to work under, sure, work under. There's nothing wrong with working under. I would prefer that you don't, because I think it's actually bad to fight from a layer underneath the person that you're fighting, because it's just weird, right? It's just awkward. It's better to fight on the same layer or one layer up. That's what I prefer. Fighting one layer under just gives the advantage to the other person, in my personal opinion, which is why, if you've noticed in these box fights, we always tend to just go to the top layer. There's a reason for that. Our intuition is like really like, okay, we should just be on the same. Let's just try to get height. We both try to get height and we end up on the top layer. It's natural, right? So try not to do this. But if you are going to do this for some reason, maybe you want to spray out my weak wood floor or something in a future fight, cover this, fully reset it, back wall, because again, let's say I sprayed through the top and then place the back wall. Now your exit's gone, so full box here, and then do what you want to do. That's very, very important, because even your back walls are very vulnerable, right? Third parties, of course, but even I can exploit them, cover them up. Here I have a head 197. At this point, I should do what I do here, which is basically play really, really aggressive. Conservatively aggressive is the term I like to use, and the reason I say that is because a lot of people play aggressive without care. They carelessly rush, and what that does is that throws your advantage, because all you need to do is, you don't need to like kill them in the first 3 seconds. You just need to make sure they don't heal. That's what I'm trying to do right now. I have to reload. I'm not going to rush you without reloading, so I'll give you a mini for that. But like right here, I just need to make sure that I just aggress, and I'm making a ton of mechanical mistakes, but it shouldn't matter as long as I do the right thing. I've noticed you haven't healed a lot, which is not like your fault. I don't think you have that many heals. Maybe you only have 1 mini left or whatever, right? And in this case, I'm just going to try to continue. And this is a weak wall. I could spray through this. Why don't I do that?
Shotguns out.
Yep, very good. Shotguns out. And that's why I think it's better, because I noticed this back wall is super weak. I'm just going to move around and try to right hand peek like this, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what I would rather do. And my shotgun's out too, by the way. So if you edit this wall, then sure, I can make a play because you have gun stop delay, whatever. But I'm not going to spray through that wall because I noticed you have shotgun now. And the only way I lose genuinely is you get a nasty pre-fire on me. Okay, next fight. So like the biggest mistake last fight, just to remind, is when you're going for a wall, do not leave openings on the outside. Close everything off, then focus. Because like if you're focusing on a wall, you don't want some other angle to be a vulnerability. It's very important. So when I do this, by the way, I really shouldn't do this. I just want to point that out. This is a bad habit of mine. Right here. This is bad. Because what you can do is, if you own the floor, right here, if you own the floor, you can shoot me as I'm falling, and you notice I have to pull out my gun. This is bad, right? I'm basically 50-50 editing into you. You can actually turn the fight around if you crosshair up, shoot me, and then double edit down. Because when you double edit down, the first edit, just like we see right here, the first edit blocks the shot that's coming. So you should actually punish me here. Don't just be scared right away, because people will make mistakes. Don't just be scared because I've hit you 75. Follow the rule with some like exception, because in this case you can basically equalize the fight because of the mistake I've made, right? So you should crosshair a little bit, see what I do. If you notice me making it right hand, then edit down. If you notice me making a dumb edit like I've done like now, then shoot me, then edit down, because then you can basically equalize the fight. Then you won't be at a disadvantage here. But you've done a really good job sitting on this right hand peak. So this is a very common scenario. Again, I want to reinforce this good habit of yours, which is basically whenever someone's trying to drop down onto your wall, and you could use visual audio to try to figure out which wall they're going to drop down. You could kind of tell that it's this way because you see my footprint on your screen this way, so you know I'm dropping down here. Edit before they land, because what that does is when I land, I have to land on something, right? I have to land on a cone, so I have to place the cone. When I place the cone, I have gun stop delay. When this happens, especially if you edit even a little bit earlier, and you can do right hand peek for good measure just to make sure, which is good, because I can barely see you right here, right? It's really, really tough. And you just hit me. You just hit me really, really hard. You basically turned the fight on its head. My fix is when I drop down, I should either be standing like right here so that you can't see me in the peanut butter, but even that's like dangerous. I should drop down on a diagonal, honestly, or aggress on this wall 1 layer above. Those are my solutions, okay? But you've done a really, really good job. The difference is this cone flip needs to come sooner. right?
Yeah.
Do you see how this is what I'm asking you to do, right? I've just gotten hit for 130 and I should be really scared. Agreed? Like I should be like, oh fuck, like the fight's over. Instead I go for this play, which is essentially equalize the fight. Do you see this?
Yeah.
Because the shotgun cooldown, I know your shotgun's not ready because you just went for a play, and I'm gonna trade back. I'm gonna take my opportunity to trade back, and I'm fine. So that's what I'm asking you to do. Just make sure you do that in the previous, like when I double edited down. Don't be scared just because I hit you, and you'll be fine. And at this point you're 1 HP, so again, same idea, right? I own the wall. If I own one part of your box, like the wall or the top or even the below, but below is kind of weird. If I own one part and you block it with a stair, it's not a real box. I have the advantage. I can just spray through it. It's really hard to hold a stair. A lot of bullet bleed through goes through stairs. For some reason, that's just how it is in Fortnite. Next fight. That's a really good lesson about trading back, even though you lost some HP. Okay, so let's talk about these trades right here. This first one, we don't have the full context or whatever. That one is tough. You have to place the sidewall. Let's watch that one more time. It's kind of tough to see. I mean, right here, the reason why I get this, honestly, the reason why I get this shot is because of build HP. I recognize, what do I see? This is under 60 or under 75. How much damage does the pickaxe do? 75. So I know I can one pickaxe this and try to shoot you. Just through my experience, whenever a wall is like one pickaxeable like this, I know I can just forget replacing it because that's too complicated. I can just pickaxe it and then pump right away, and it honestly catches people off guard. Also, the reason why I know I'm safe to do this, even though it's not a peak, is because I see this right here. If I see you holding a shotgun and looking at me, I wouldn't do it. Okay, so because I see this, I'm okay to do it. I know you're focusing on something else. Again, you should not be scared that I just hit you, because look, there's a vulnerability here. What's the vulnerability? Do you see it? Wall's extremely weak, and by the way, you don't actually have to look at the health bar to see it. If I've made an edit and reset, your mind should immediately be that wall's 1 HP. Okay, and even if it's 50 HP, it's still basically 1 HP. 2 bullets of SMG, and then it's gonna break, and then you're gonna hit the rest. Right now, you should not just play defensive. Go for a trade back, then play defensive, because my shotgun's on cooldown, right? Trade back, and be aggressive a little bit here. Unless you see me holding my shotgun out, then okay, yeah, I might pre-fire. But in that case, I was going for a heal. You should just go fight for sure. Here, I'm really here. Honestly, you should be quicker here. When you notice me fail this edit, and you should notice, right? You should pay attention to this. You should immediately reset your cone, go for a like literal dry edit. And the reason why is because I have blueprint now and I'm looking the wrong way. So there's no crosshair placement and I have blueprint now. So you should just go for a shot. Literally, don't even hesitate. Again, do not let your HP dictate how scared you are. You should dictate your playstyle. Defensive, aggressive, sure. But if you notice me make mistakes in terms of my crosshair placement or the edits, because you can see through the wall, you should just go for a shot. Just go for it. Don't be scared. Just go for it. That damage, those opportunities are everything. I'm making so many mistakes. You can honestly punish me for a lot. Here, you should be very scared of editing like this. You should, this is difficult. This is a very niche scenario. But if I have shotgun out, this can be tough. Maybe you can, argue, hey, you have a pickaxe, so I'm safe to do this. But I think you should just double edit down a different way. You should, edit, go into the edit menu, reset the tiles, and then select the back two. So that's a good, because then you're safe on your way down. Fine, I'm regressing. I have big advantage. I'm making a lot of edit mistakes, but that's okay. You do a good job here. Very soon. Here, it's gonna be pre-fire. Yep. This was a bad play by me. I'm glad you go for this. This is what I meant, right? This is what I meant. I've hit you. You're not scared. You continue. Does that make sense? Like, you can actually do a good damage back here. That was good. There's my shot. I could have had something there. That was tough. What I would recommend in this case is probably... I mean, what you did is fine. You just need to be... So, when you're jumping, right? Let's say you're, like, jumping out like this. Agreed? You should not be looking out this way. You should be turned around. And the reason why is as soon as you cross this line right here, you need to reset this wall. That's the most important priority. Like, I'm not gonna suddenly come out from the left. You need to just reset this wall so that I don't get that shot. Because if my aim is better, this could be 100 damage.
Gotcha.
So, like, what jumping allows you to do is look one way but move another. And so when you jump out, you should look backward. I know you're a controller, so it's difficult. Definitely go for that. This is a scenario where after you shoot, you should build wall. Simple fighting combination is shoot build. If you shoot build there, because you have the peak, you should actually do, even if you miss, you will never get hit. That's the idea. I'm just playing like really sloppy here. Gotta do a nice right hand peek. This is the very beginning of the fight, so I'm gonna trade very like safely and try to. And then right here, I'm crosshair out because I know, like, for some reason I just have this experience when I'm like lurking above someone's stair. I just know they're not paying attention. And also, if you continue this direction, I know you're gonna have blueprint out. That's just like intuition, my experience. I get this 40 damage. It's not a lot, but I do get the crack. So what, right here, you need to cone floor. And if you know through audio that I'm above you, you should just close this off. Like, don't continue up the ramp. Close this off and just box here. You're fine. And I'll find an angle to pressure you, but then you can make your play there. Like, it's the idea that I talk about all the time, which is basically, if you don't know where I am, pause. Don't continue. Don't assume you know where I am. Make sure you fully understand. A couple examples of where my movement can get me out of trouble. Like right here, I think you had a shot. This is not a good movement by me. You definitely have a shot. What you should do is when you make this window is, first of all, I think this is a perfect peanut butter. You should actually make a peanut butter here. And if you are going to make a window, stand further back. If you're so close to the window, it's really hard to see it. But I think you should, because I'm looking to the left, like right here, you should make a peanut butter and a pickaxe out. So take note of all of those things. And when this window happens, you notice I immediately move to the left. Like now I have right hand peek on your window. I'm not able to get a shot or anything, but the reason, by the way, the reason why I'm not able to get the shot is why. Yeah, shoot build. Yeah, you're just doing shoot build, which is something like literally just pay attention very, very closely. If you always shoot build, the chances of you getting hit goes down significantly. So many of trades happen because the person doesn't build, and I'm talking like within the second, like right after you shoot. And because you do it here, my shot doesn't hit you. What I try to do here, by the way, is after I spree through this wall, this is a very common piece control, is claim the back wall, claim the left wall, and then look straight down, claim the front wall. So you can actually full box someone by spraying the front wall. With like, it's gonna be too much if I try to go for the right one because it's a really hard angle. But I try to claim like these back two and then immediately look down. There's a little ambitious because you get that pre-fire on me. Why I shouldn't have done this, by the way, is because you pulled out your shotgun. Actually, you pulled it out pretty recently. It's really hard to tell. Like right here, because you have blueprint now, I try to go for it, but you've actually pulled out your shotgun. So there's a good damage by you. Really solid. And let's continue. The reason I don't pop mini is because I want to aggress. I know I have some damage on you, but I just pop the shieldfish for like speed because I want to just keep going. And, like, what is 25 HP, right? Like whatever.
Yeah, it's pretty much this SMG bullet.
Yep. Very close. You should get that back wall before. Like if you place that back wall and then try to edit, you'll be safe. It's good that you don't run out here. This is a very common mistake a lot of people do. They get panicked, even though they're safe, because they have the wall and the stair, and then they just run out into my wall here. So I'm glad you didn't do that. No grass here. This is really, really, really good by you, by the way. Very common pattern that a lot of people do here is do peanut butter. You should recognize, like, hey, I'm going for a swing, and you did. And that's why this edit is really good. Because what this does is, it's really, I can't reach over here. It's impossible, right? It's really hard. So you know I'm going to swing on this side, and then if you make this wide edit here, my swing misses. I will not break the wall. You get a free hit. That's really, really good. What's key is, like I said before, it's almost like shoot build, but in a different way. In this case, it's not a shoot build, but it's a shoot reset. Or shoot, look straight down at it. Your choice. Both work. Because there needs to be a block here because I'm able to get a shot. Does that make sense? So you do the edit, and that's good, but it should be a single tile. It should not be both tiles. If you want to do both tiles, this can also work. You can do this tile and this tile, sure. But it needs to block. And it needs to be quick. The faster you do it, the better. Because me getting that hit is huge. Because that was a crowd. And it's the same idea I've talked about before, right? Even if you get hit, before you leave, go for a shot. Or before you try to exit or play defensively, go for a shot. See what you hit. Because I hit like 100 plus there. And it genuinely, like, imagine if I didn't hit that. You would just run me over. It would be over, right? But because I've hit that, like, now you have to think twice about aggressing. Okay, reload, take my time. Might be a fight where I lose, actually. Oh no, this is a fight where you're on my walls. Yeah. Whenever you enter a new space, especially old builds, literally do a 360, check every wall. And also, this is actually even better than what I just said. Before you enter a tile, make sure all the walls are yours. because that's very, very important. Because I'm going to recognize where your footsteps are, come over to the box that you're in, and then see if any of my walls are fine, you know? That was very, very bad movement by me. Like right here, this jump is coming way too early. My gun's not out at all. You know what I mean? So I flick really hard. Also, I should be a little bit further to the right. Also, this edit's just bad. When you're super close, I should do a window. There's a lot of mistakes there by me. Mostly due to the fact that I'm just not warm at all. This wall's weak. You see my recognition? Like I see the window and I see the reset. And so there's a reason why I just immediately go. What I should do instead, not even kidding, is just spray. I'll probably just hit you for a lot. You know what I mean? But that it's just a very simple intuition. It's just like when you see an edit into a reset, and you'll notice, by the way, on my end, I rarely do it, the edit and reset, unless I know it's gonna be like a good shot, because I don't want to make my walls weak. And if I do it, what I do is I pickaxe the weak wall, replace it with a new one. Then it's like 2 pickaxes. This was good. Same idea. This was really, really good. I shouldn't have. I mean, if I want to go for this, I need to immediately be ready to place the floor. You need to go for the full box here. That's okay. Okay. So when you get a hit, your reaction to the hit needs to be faster. Okay. Because what that does is it doesn't allow me to leave, and you can end the fight right there. Because once I leave and I make 3 boxes, it's really hard to aggress. You might notice that. It's like really, really hard. It takes a long time, and I would have trouble aggressing on 3 boxes too. Just really hard. Yeah, I got a hit there. Watching. I think you're like behind this wall, so I'm just making sure. Again, the same idea, right? It's like if I don't see your footsteps, if I don't have any sort of information about your footsteps, I'm gonna play slow. And the reason I can't even progress, like I don't want to go forward, is 2 builds, right? I'm paying attention to all of these things. I'm just like, okay, like I'm really scared of moving forward. I'm just gonna spray and try to figure out where you are. Now I found you because this floor is building. Now I know you're over there. What I thought is you were under the floor, right? But you're actually on top of it. Like, you get a nice bit of damage here. Here I should just sit on this right hand and heal 2 minis and see what you do. Let you come to me. It's the simple idea is like, let's say there's a timeline, okay? This is 2 timelines, like as they're passing. If you're gonna spend the time coming to me, you're wasting time. Obviously, in this case, you should. But the reason I shouldn't go to you because I have to heal. Like it's better for me to wait, let you come to me. I can sort of get time that way because you have to make it all the way over to my box. Out of mats. Here I just go for something like because I have to. What you do really, really good is your movement here. I need to recognize this was mine. And reset. But your movement was really, really good because now you have a right hand here. You wait for your shotgun to be ready. Maybe you have to reload, fully be ready, and then take this right hand you in. That's exactly what you do. I could never see you. So notice the common themes though. So a lot of it has to do with first of all, if you get hit, try to find an opportunity to trade back before you go to the next engagement or next fight or next section. Like just go for a trade back. Like hitting something back. Let's say I hit you for 80, but you hit me for 50. Yes, I won the trade, but I won it by way less. If I hit you for 80 and you hit me 0, that's a big advantage. You know what I mean? But you always want to be trading back. Don't let me get anything for free. So this fight, at the very beginning of this fight, if I remember correctly, was really good by you. You did really, really, really good timing on your edits, where you would just constantly edit whenever I went for a swing. Basically, you were ready. It was really, really nice that way. But this edit was good. Solid. My mechanics are just fucked here, man. I'm not gonna lie. Solid. Love it. You're just ready. You know where I'm coming? Or solid. Spraying my floors out. So the mistake you made here is you dropped. You shouldn't go for my floors. You might have fell accidentally. But you should stay on, ideally, you should stay on the same layer and fight me on the same layer. If you pressure my walls, it's much easier because if you notice, you have to break 2 things on the floor. Same thing from above. You have to break 2 things, and on a wall you have to break 1. And so it's much easier to pressure someone on their layer, or by spraying walls. Break walls all the time when you box fight. Much easier to pressure. So what I do to sort of mitigate this is I build multiple boxes. I have 3 different floors I could stand on. I could stand here, here, or here. And depending on which one you're spraying, I'm just going to move. You know what I mean? So I have multiple boxes of defense, and what this allows me to do is just I don't have to build anymore for longer. So basically, the lesson is when you make a defensive box, especially if you have a lot of healing to do, like in this case, my med miss is going to take a little bit of time, make multiple boxes. Like be a little bit of a, how do I say? try to look into the future a little bit and be like, hey, I have to heal a lot, like build a lot of boxes. That'll help you for sure in defensive. Because in this case, I'm just gonna try to go for a shot back here. Reset was bad because you own the floor. I have the code. I looked at the floor out of habit. It's not good.
That floor, but that's spray for the floor, by the way. Dude, I found success with it, like, with that before, if I just stay at a distance. And
yes.
It's mainly the way you're on wood, just kind of panic still, but I don't know if that's gonna, after today, I'm gonna keep doing that. Kind of like a panic. It's not that I'm falling. So it's not that I'm falling, right? I intentionally sprayed that floor to stop you, make a little more panic now, go. Well, I need to adjust that if I want to keep trying it. I don't want to let go of it, but like, definitely for sure the wall, 100%. I'm definitely agreeing with that. I just find success with the floor, but I'm definitely gonna adjust it if I'm gonna keep trying it. Okay. And if that doesn't, I'll stop it completely.
Yeah. Fair assessment. You got a really good trade there. See if you win this fight. I'm med missing. I'm getting a lot of value out of this med miss. So like that's the key thing. Is like I'm just healing a lot. You need to pressure harder, in my opinion. Okay, finally, you come on my layer. That's good. I know you're about to grasp with your bias. All med missing. I'm just gonna miss from here. Very still, matey. This is where it's like. Sometimes like 50-50s don't work. It's like a risky play, but like I don't know, sometimes it's like good to go for them. Like what it offers you is like, yes, it's risky because if the other guy's ready, you're good, like you're fucked, but it's like it offers you speed. You get to go finish the fight. That's what you do. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I noticed when I watch pros now, I noticed they do it when they're outpacing the opponent during the fight. If they're left, if they go faster rhythm, they'll do it. That's why I noticed. But I know you're like, there's no. I have no rhythm mate, so that's why I don't do it against you. I think I've done it before when we first started doing it. I just respected.
I know exactly what you mean. The term that I use is like momentum. Like if you hit me 100, this is what I'm telling you as well. It's like react faster to you hitting me and winning that trade. If you pause for like 3 seconds, show and be like, oh fuck, I'm winning. It's too late. They've already made 3 boxes. But if you like hit me for 100 and then immediately go for the SMG, like into an edit, into an SMG because your shotgun's on cooldown, you'll win. You know what I mean? Like pressure faster after you're in the advantage. And I think you're gonna have a lot more success if you do that. It's momentum for sure, or you know, rhythm, like whatever term you want to use. Okay, so this fight is an important one because it's same thing. You need to reset this. If you're not gonna crosshair here, reset it. Does that make sense? Because like I know the reason I did this is because I wanted to see what you would do. For the chance, like you're not looking at all. You're not even going for the reset. You're looking at the wall. Same idea. Same mistake. Just watch out for that. Right here, I should not go around. This is a waste of time. Why is this a waste of time? Why do I need to do this? You're on the cone, right? Like you're literally there. And like I said before, this is an advantage for me because if I pull out my SMG and just spray here, I will get some damage. Because even if you try to go for an edit down, which is what you're most likely gonna do, because it's awkward to edit like really close walls, you're gonna try to edit down. I can hit, like as you're falling, I'm gonna be able to hit some shots. So I should just go for it here. I have free damage. I just chose not to cash in on the free damage. Like that's the problem. Like there's opportunities here to like really end the fight. Here you need to defensively piece control or flip ramp. Flip ramp is probably better here. Or in general, this is very unfortunate though. Like I grabbed the wall, like I spray it out and I grab the wall. But this is a tough situation. Here, like you see this, like this is where I'm winning. This is a very common scenario. I own one piece of your wall. I own the left one too. But like this is a very advantageous situation for me where I should just spray and I'll win. Just like that. Okay, we'll keep going. And again, just to remind, like the mistake there was just not closing a piece when you're focusing on something else. If you want to focus on a different like side or an angle, then close everything else. Make sure you're fully like airtight is the term that I like to use. It's a very common thing in endgame to like leave an edit open and then focus on something else and then just get shot from that exact same opening. Okay. You should know that the wall takes 2 pickaxes, and so you should not pre-fire because this wall is fresh. Every time you make a fresh wall, even if it's wood, it will always take 2 pickaxes minimum if nothing's been done to it. If you haven't edited it, it will always take 2 pickaxes. And the key thing here, by the way, is like, I'm probably gonna go for 2 swings, because a lot of people do it. 2 swings is really easy to pre-fire, because what it does is like there's like a rhythm to it. It's like swing, swing. You know what I mean? And then on that rhythm, it's really easy to hit me pre-fire on the second shot. I have a feeling you're gonna edit, so I chill. And you notice me holding crosshair. This is good. We're both reading each other. This is good. Because in this situation, I've been in this situation a lot, where someone builds a wall, they like look away, and then they like fake come back. So I'm like ready. I'm like, oh shit, you might edit. You don't do it, but then you look back, you're thinking about it, and then you notice I have a shotgun out. This is all like just reading the opponent. You're looking at me, I'm looking at you. I'm trying to think of what you're doing. You're trying to think of what I'm doing, and we both come up with the correct solution in terms of like what to do. I'm very scared of the edit because it's your wall. I should be scared, and in this case, you're thinking about it, but because you see my shotgun out, you're not doing it, which is the right thing to do. Absolutely. You could do like a peek, but again, like I agree with the fact that you're playing conservative. You try to go for it again. Notice I still have shotgun, so you don't edit right away. It's very good. Right here, this angle, you should go for an edit. You should edit reverse peanut butter. And the reason why you should do that is because if you edit like this, I can't break your wall. I can't take it. Agreed? And then you right hand peek this edge right here. Right? So you should go for this. This is your advantage currently. Obviously, by the way, I could build a wall in reaction on this, like this angle right here, this wall.
Yeah.
But it's to no negative to you. Like going for this doesn't hurt you. I will never hit you if you actually properly move here and do the proper right hand peek. So like in this case, you should go for something. You should go for it fast. You should. This is what I meant by like recognizing your advantage, right? Understand that you're in that advantage, and that's what's second when you move all the way over to the right side of your box like this, and you should go for it. It will come with time. It's a feeling thing. It comes with time. This is what I was talking about earlier. The second peek. Right? I see you peek, like I see you like, and I know, by the way, like once I jump here, I will see you. If you stand over here, it'll be you know, harder for me to see you, but because you're standing here, like think about it this way. You're barely on the edge, right? So if I just jump, you will expose. That's how I see it. And so I'm able to hit this. You could have maybe hit me back, so I should have went for like a reset. Now I'm just gonna play aggressive. You do a really good job of expanding until this point.
Yeah. It's done, ammo.
You probably go down, or this is what Bizzle does. It's like before you enter the box, build the box. So like edit, open this wall, build the box, see what happens, see if I drop. If I drop, by the way, I have gun swap delay, so you should have time to reset this. Do not cross this line until this box is confirmed to be safe. Make sense?
Yeah.
That could work too. So you don't necessarily have to go down, but build the box before you build the box, observe, see if it's safe. If it's safe, then enter. Next fight. One right here. Let's watch the beginning. Actually, we're missing some context. Yeah, build up. It's like if you follow these ideas, you'll be like not warm. Doesn't matter. Like it'll help a lot. Here, this is a good idea. I love that you do a right hand peek because I am crosshairing. Right, I have shotgun out, and this is where you could totally get a shot. I'm not sure exactly what happened. Here, by the way, what's my solution? There's a very obvious solution that I chose not to do because it's a mistake. I just forgot to do it.
If you flick up into the wall.
Sorry?
You flick up into the wall.
No, because in this case, I'm not actually. I haven't crossed the line. You know what I mean? The line right here. So I can't place a wall. I could place a wall here, but I think that's bad. The reason I don't like this is because what if after you edit, a lot of things people do is like they place their own wall after they edit and then do a peanut butter. So if you do that as I'm trying to go for the wall, it's really bad for me because then I have no pieces. What's the solution here? It's a very creative one. The cone flip is gonna block instantly. Does that make sense? So if I look straight down, let's say this is the cone, right? And I edit these 2 tiles, I'm safe. No, it's a block. The cone will be like this. Yes. So that's what I should do. Look straight down, edit single tile or 2 tiles. My choice, doesn't matter. But if I do that, because you just edited, right? You have gun swap delay. I have enough time to do that. Same idea. Make sense? Now, like the reason why I like that solution instead of backing up is because backing up takes time, and you could probably shoot me on my entry into this box. But the edit, looking straight down and editing, is much faster, and I can guarantee that as long as I have the mechanics or the timing to do it, I can guarantee get out before you shoot me because of gun swap delay. Like right here, I shouldn't even challenge this. Ideally, I should just edit down right away. That's what no really would do. That's what a good player would do. Shouldn't even challenge it. I should just edit down. That's the fix there. reset because you have a nice shotgun angle on me, and I own the wall, so I should take the time. And you're not going anywhere. My cone, my floor, my wall, you're not going anywhere. So in this case, I should take my time, which is why I opt to reset. I could, you know, just take the, because, you know, you're pulling out your shotgun, I'm pulling out my shotgun. I could just take the trade, but why take an even trade when I have an opportunity to hold the wall and then to go for another one? I'm holding because you probably know it's low HP and you're probably gonna pump it. I see that it's low HP, so I'm just gonna hold and see what happens. Pump, and then because it's healthy now because you pumped it, I should go for an edit because of shotgun cooldown. Let's see what I do. I just miss really bad. Now, couple things. After you go for the shotgun shot, I should probably make a middle window. You understand why? It's because if I make a right hand window, this one, it takes way too much time to set up. Because by the time I've set this up, your next shotgun is ready. So that was bad. I should just do this straight up. It's okay if it's not a peak because your shotgun's not ready. Shotgun cooldown. I should just add a middle window right away. And by the way, let's say supposedly you go for the pump into SMG. I'm still okay because it takes time to swap to your SMG, right? So that's what I like. That's the solution. I should, as soon as you shoot, hold the wall so I get a new one, and then immediately edit middle window, because when I edit middle window, I don't need to swing to the right. I'll be able to get a shot. The problem here is because I don't have crosshair placement. I'm kind of blind to where you are. I missed my shot. You do a really good damage on me. Let's see what happens. You should keep spraying. You should literally keep spraying. Especially if you see blueprint. Like, how am I gonna pre-fire? What are you scared of? Keep spraying. You know what I mean? And you know I'm one shot. Like, you should just whenever I'm one shot and you know I'm not holding a shotgun against you, just spray it. Take, like, a lot of people do this. They try to play too much into taking walls. Make sense? They're like, I need to claim every piece. I need a piece control. But like a lot of people, my old teammate Buckty, he was notorious for spraying a lot. And he genuinely, seriously did not know how to box fight that well. But he was still successful as a player. He had 40k PR, right? And the reason why is because in fights, he would spray a lot. He'd use his gun as pressure. Go watch a pro. Go look at how much they use in SMG. Don't watch Clicks because he's obviously notoriously good at box fighting. So he's going to refer to like those sort of methods. But go watch a pro that's not notorious for box fighting, and they're going to do really well with SMG. The pressure that comes from SMG and just trying to bleed damage through walls is like really underrated, and a lot of people don't do it. The problem here is you don't end the fight when you have the advantage. This section right here, where I'm 1 HP and you're very close. The distance between me and you is very minimal. This is where you just need to end the fight, and it's very possible. Because notice, when I go for the edit down, I'm not holding the wall anymore for the split second. So sometimes you could do this little strategy where you go for the spray, right? You get a little tag here. You pause for literally half a second. What that pause does is it makes me think I'm safe, or it makes me think you're reloading, and then because you still have like 10 or 15 bullets left in your SMG, you can then continue spraying. That's what I do a lot in fights. It's like I'll spray a little bit and get some bleed damage, and then pause to make them think that like, hey, they're safe to leave or like edit somewhere else, and that causes them to stop holding their wall, and then I spray again. Have like half a second delay, and then I just win the fight. So that's something that you should do as well. Don't just empty the clip. I know you don't do this often. I'm just giving you advice in general. If you just empty the clip, it's like very telegraphed. That can just hold forever, wait for your reload, and then go. Now this is where the fight's gonna take forever, because I have 3 boxes, hard nuts, and I've created distance. I've created a lot of distance between me and you. Now do you see why the fight takes forever, even though it should have genuinely ended like 15 seconds ago? That's key. This is where like the comeback starts to begin, because now I can do pre-fires. I can take my time. If I don't like an angle, I can back up to another box because I have 3. There's a lot of things I can do. And so this is where I really recommend you genuinely just end the fight when you have the opportunity to. And like, again, there's no reason to be scared. Like, you have HP advantage. This is a good attempt. I like it because I'm low. But like, this is something you should do before I get the keg, because I have the keg now, and now I'm 118. I'm making a comeback. This is the key part of it. Nice try. I don't like it because I don't like this section, because if you take this wall first try, I'm kind of screwed. So I don't like it. I'm trying to leave. Try to make another box. Need to hold it in case you get it. Notice how instead of focusing on completing the box, because I know you're in this tile, I need to focus on holding this wall. If I'm so concerned with like, hey, I need to place the tops here, I'll probably get sprayed through here. So I understand where you are. As soon as you leave and you have the potential to go around and shoot me through the opening through the top, that's when I place the top. So like, the idea is like, focus on placing the build and working on the build, or holding the build that's like the most vulnerable, or the one that you threaten the most, because I can place that after. There's no threat there. I'm fine. Gotta see what you do. Nothing happens. Again, here's what you should spray. No? Weak wall. Like right here, you just go for a shot. Super low HP. And like, I don't think I'll be able to react to this. It's so like one bullet and the second bullet hits me. You know what I mean? Like you can go for this and try it. It's the way you try it, honestly. That was good. I forgot that you actually went for it. That was good. And I actually still go for a pre-fire because I'm very used to doing that. Crouch walk, kill my footsteps, try to sneak up. Luckily, I wouldn't even say luckily, you do notice me, which is really good. Just solid on that because a lot of people wouldn't. Place a bunch of builds. The reason why I'd spam build, by the way, is because after I look down here, because I expected you to be here, I'm like, oh shit, he's not there. So I just like make sure. I'm like, you know, better safe than sorry. Like I don't make assumptions. If I don't see you here because I thought you were there, I don't know where you are. I'm like, oh fuck. Like my second best guess would probably be 2 layers down, honestly, but you can literally see he's right here. So if I didn't spam build, panic build right here, these last 3 builds, I probably would just get shot from an angle. But like again, the lesson is, if I don't know exactly where you are, I'm not making assumptions. I'm just gonna like be safe, just place everything, and then like after the builds are in place, let's try to figure out where you are. That's my mentality in fighting.
Yeah.
Then I find you here. This is where you were lagging a bit. Thank God I missed.
Oh my God.
Like it would just been horrible. Like I would have felt so bad.
Oh, you didn't lag? I thought we got server lag. Oh, it's only
no. I was completely fine.
Oh my gosh.
Set it down. Solid. You see how I'm like holding as I'm trying to back out? Because it's a good, although you can take your first try, it's like good habit to do.
I see where you're doing talking about the crosshair, and I see it now.
This is good. This is the benefit of body viewing from the enemy's perspective. It's not some like cringe thing that a bunch of coaches used to say it. It's like, it's genuinely good. Like when you play arena, like, and this is what replay offers you, like this, you should try doing this more often. I'm sure you've done it in the past, but like this is something you should do more and more often. The problem here is genuinely, I don't know why I do this, but like I'm focused on this edit as soon as you start to progress. So I should stop and hold here, or backwards stare and edit down. Like something should happen other than this. This is where I die, because this is not my wall, I believe. But I just lose here. I'm glad you play aggressive, because you should. Yeah, let's keep going. Try to get a nice angle. I'm glad you built that wall. This is a very common scenario. This is a tough one to respect from your position. Sometimes I fall for this. Is the fact that if there's a cone here, I can actually jump up, not mental, literally just jump peek this, right? If there's no cone above, I can jump peek this. And a lot of people from your perspective, the position that you're in, do not see this happening. What I should do, honestly, is before I do this, I need to place this wall. Very, very important. Because you're threatening a right hand peek here. Like it's very scary. I should place that wall, then do what I try to do, or I just go for it. That's not something I shouldn't have done. Again, I chill for a bit. I need to reload a little bit and then just make sure I gather my bearings. I felt a little like a little discombobulated there. So I'm like, okay, like let's just chill for a bit.
Gotcha.
Mechanics are kind of iffy. Bad habit. Very, very common, very simple lesson. If I don't own the wall, I am at the disadvantage, and you can see why. Because you can make any edit of your choice. You choose to make the correct edit. Because again, if I'm super close to your wall, make a window. Don't make a wide edit, because making a peanut butter, I can just accidentally walk through. And a lot of bots do that in arena, right? It's good, solid edit by you, and you get a natural, very good 110. You should probably reset and hold, and then see what happens.
Oh yeah. This is
Or honestly, even better than this is you reacting very quickly to your damage and genuinely reset it, or just edit the tile and run at me with that.
Yeah.
You'll just win. I swear to God. Like, what am I gonna do? The only threat that I have is like pumping you on your way in. But by the way, I'm not gonna one pump you. Let's say I hit you for max. By the time I switch to my SMG, I'm dead. You know what I mean? So this is a very interesting scenario. So if you're full HP, 50-50s are very encouraged, especially if you can, like, if you have reliable aim. Because what's gonna happen is like you would immediately out of here. Let's say I'm not stupid and I keep my shotgun out and I hit you for 180. By the time I have SMG out, you'll win the fight. So it's very, very important. I've lost to this a lot, where I pre-fire someone making a bad edit running into me, but because I'm at an HP disadvantage and they're still full HP, I still lose. I didn't do a good example of what I was just talking about, which is basically like do a good hit and then immediately edit and run at them with SMG 50-50 with the HP advantage, like instantly. I don't do a good example in this session, but I've done it a lot in the past, and it's a really, really good thing to do. Very scary. I have to look super far. Here, the reason I'm going for something like just crazy is because I have no heals. I don't want to play this slow. My win con is like, I need to do something crazy. Reset, mistake. Very tough. It's just like a mechanical mistake in this case, because I can literally see you going for it. Now, the only issue is like, maybe this is near the wall. I don't know.
I know it's not mine. That's all yours. Yeah.
Is it? Okay, that explains it.
That's all yours. Yeah.
I didn't know that was the case. And again, I'm taking, its idea is like, if you're behind in a fight, you cannot play slow. You have to take risks. This is why I have this mentality of like, hey, I should just go for something. A lot of people just don't take risks when they're like behind. Like if you haven't gotten hit by me there at all and you still have all your heals, I'm gonna lose if I play slowly. Or better worded is, it's unlikely I win. I could still win, but it's like really, it's much more unlikely. It's like really unlikely. I would have to win trade after trade after trade. You know what I mean? It's just like awkward. Accidentally in your box. I'm crosshairing you to threaten, so then you would see me crosshairing you and then hesitate to edit. That's the idea. But while I'm doing this, I have a secondary task in mind, which is basically which wall is mine, which edit is mine. So as I'm doing this, I'm like slowly looking over to which wall. I notice the edit tile right here. This is my wall, and I try to edit out. But you do this unfortunate edit, which is really good, by the way. This edit is perfect. This is exactly what you should do.
I went for the right-hand peek edit one.
Yeah, this is exactly what you do, because this is what happened. Now the stairs are in my face. I can't see anything at all, but you can see the bottom half of my body as you fall. If you think you should actually stand a little bit further back. You should actually stand here. Unironically, it's okay to stand like right here, like fall down here. Or in the corner too, because then I could only see your toes, which is fine. Because you see like a good part of my body. This is fine too, though. Yeah, you get a good 50 damage. I fucking whip around, hit 100, so now we're equal. I own the stair now. I try to go for the weird edit, but you're standing in the. What I should do here is what? Literal trivia.
You could edit out and get out of the situation you want.
Yeah,
to.
but
we're kind of even between though.
Shouldn't I? Yeah, but I think there's edits, right?
What did you do when you had this stair? Yeah, you can do. I did right hand. You did right hand too.
Yeah. So what I should do is start here, edit like this, and then the stairs in your face. Agreed. So I tried to do it like this way, which only works if you're standing here, but you're not standing there. Yeah. Or if you're standing here, but because you're standing here, the correct edit is this. Okay. And that would create the situation where I can see you the stairs in your face, and I would get a good trade. But I make a mistake, and this was honestly just a 50-50. Like, I could die here. It was a theoretical mistake, but I just win because you happen to pull it.
The high risk, high reward, I would say, but it makes sense really well.
We got like 2 more points.
Okay.
That was good. You see how I'm like, when I peek around this left corner, you see how, like, look at my crosshair. You understand why it's here, right? Or no?
Your crosshair, why it's there?
Yeah, why is it here? Why not here?
Well, if you look over there, you're not going to see me. You're going to get
Very good. Very good. Yeah, the reason why I look to the right is because then it exposes you. Third-person camera, right? I can see you. Like, if you think about it from bird's eye view, this is your player, right? And this is a concept you already understand. I'm just like going through it again. If I like look this way, the camera right here is behind me, like right here. But if I look here, then the camera is here. So I'm placing my literal camera like in a position where I could look around the corner. Although it sacrifices crosshair placement, it gives me information. Your wall should flip. Yeah. What I should do, more common by the way, is understand that this floor is not mine, and it's really, really awkward. So like the idea is, as soon as you have this wall, you should edit immediately and try to full box. Because you can actually full box without exposing yourself. If you stand right here, you can full box, and you should go for it naturally. Just try to claim as many pieces, edit and claim as many pieces as you can. It's one of those situations like you should just instantly edit because you have the advantage. And the reason why I think I should instead of just walking out, turn around, stand in the same spot, claim this wall, and then edit out because of defensive base control. Because if you try to go for the full box, I'm fully trapped. Like, I'm actually screwed. I own nothing. I can't edit down because the floor is yours. Literally, even the left wall is yours, I'm pretty sure. Gotta go for pre-fire. I realized no mats. I think you realized I had no mats too. So this is where it's bad. This is where I need to play the lurker. And honestly, I need to be a little bit more patient here. This is bad. You do a really, really good job of doing what I said at the beginning, which is cautiously aggressive, or whatever I called it. You understand? Like, making sure that you're not throwing, because the worst thing you could do when you have a lead is throw it. Like, just like be careless and throw it. So carefully aggressive or cautiously aggressive, whatever you want to call it, it's exactly what you do. Like, you understand you're the person to be pushing, that's for sure, but like, you do it with a little bit of patience to make sure you're keeping me in check, making sure I'm not surprising you. Because as well, this is the game sense, right? If you notice someone's out of mats and they're like half decent player, they're gonna play really weird. That's their win condition. They're gonna try to like play really surprising, really erratic, play really, really slow, and then suddenly jump at you. That's what they like to do. That's what I was trying to do with that sort of play, because like that's my win condition. I kind of have to do that. I need to create a situation where I jump in your box. That's like the fairest fight I can get, is a literal 50-50. I try to do this all the time. I'm like lurking, trying to sit in a position. I notice when you edit, you probably know where I am. Move to the right because you're trying to make the wall weak, and then do a really, really, really solid right hand peek. I cannot see you at all. Very good.
That's definitely my advantage in there. I think the last fight I tried the mentality of like, let me go this way because less pieces there, but I was wrong about the direction I went.
Yeah, no, I think you played it really well. Just like very cautiously aggressive. Here, this is what I do this a lot. Where it's like,
I messed up where the pieces.
I think I know that you were heading to the right because of this. You see the footprints?
Yeah, the visual.
It literally tells me exactly. It's so broken. Like, and the problem is people don't take full advantage of it. I know you're in this box and you walk from here to here, which tells me you're literally gonna edit, which is why I probably just went on that ramp to like crosshair to see if you would, you know. Like that. This is what I wanted to show in the last fight. It's like visual audio is so broken and not enough people use it.